What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, interesting news. As legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO, Bob Arum, he has stated that undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Devin "The Dream" Haney, who has 28 wins, no loss and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He is 23 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, will essentially not be able to face off against Olympic two-time gold medalist, three-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar boxer Vasily Lomachenko, who has 16 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'6" with a 66-inch arm reach in October. Okay, Devin Haney is holding out hopes that he could land the fight with Vasily Lomachenko in October. Okay, he has a rematch clause with former unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., who is now 20 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'9" with a 68-inch arm reach. They fought June 4th in Australia. June 4th in the States, June 5th in Australia, okay? And obviously, George Kambosos has a right to the belts, not to Devin Haney. And we know ESPN, top rank, they would love to put on a much bigger fight after George Kambosos was simply outclassed by Devin Haney. He lost every single round. Devin Haney pitched the absolute shutout against George Kambosos Jr. And since that took place, we know the boxing world is not calling to see George Kambosos versus Devin Haney. So Devin Haney was holding out hopes that he can secure a fight with Lomachenko, who announced that he'll be back, in October. So it just seems like the perfect fit. And Lomachenko, 34, time is not on his side. What is he waiting for? I know people saying the fact that Lomachenko has been, his future has been up in the air because there's the unfortunate chain of events that's taking place between his country, the Ukraine and Russia, that, we don't know what's going to happen with Vasily Lomachenko, okay? Well, Vasily Lomachenko, he has not been out the ring as long as people perceive him to be out the ring, okay? He last fought against Richard Coleman, okay? And, that was I believe it was in November, if I'm not mistaken, okay? So with that said, we know that he hasn't been out the ring for an extensive period of time, okay? He has been out the ring, longer than that in the past, than this time, okay? So with that said, him coming back and fighting Devin Haney in October is not out of the question, okay? It's not unthinkable, okay? It's not something that's, so far-fetched. Oh, man, Lomachenko can't fight, Devin Haney in October because he's been out the ring for way too long, okay? But the reason that Bob Arum is saying that the fight is not going to come to fruition, essentially, is because Bob Arum is focused on securing a future fight that he says has been in the making between Lomachenko, and he said a fight that has to get made is Lomachenko versus undefeated two-division world champion, unified super featherweight WBC, WBO world champion, Olympic silver medalist, Shakur Stevenson, superstar boxer, who is 18 wins, no loss, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 24 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. So he says the fight to get made, and he wants to do it next year, is Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson. Now, Shakur Stevenson, he has his sights set on becoming undisputed at super featherweight, but he also stated, Shakur Stevenson, who fights at 130, he also stated that, that he will, sooner rather than later, be making a move to lightweight, to 135, okay? So he's letting the world know that sooner rather than later, Shakur Stevenson is going to be making a move to 135, right? How soon is that? We don't know. He said he got a couple of fights at 130, then he's going to make his way to 135. Now, that's where Lomachenko campaigns and that's where Devin Haney campaigns, but Devin Haney has made it abundantly clear he doesn't have many fights. Sooner rather than later for him, he'll be moving up to junior welterweight to 140, okay? So it looks like Lomachenko is going to have a stay busy tune-up type of fight in October. But again, I can't understand for Lomachenko's sake, in his career at 34 years of age, why would he want to waste any more time? Because fighting Devin Haney is a one-shot deal for Lomachenko to get all the belts and accomplish what he's been setting out to accomplish, which is to become undisputed at the lightweight division. If Lomachenko decides that he's going to have a tune-up, right, and Devin Haney fights George Kambosos, and then they set up a fight with Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson, well, Devin Haney, once he moves up, the belts go everywhere. Now Lomachenko has to go on a scavenger hunt to collect all the belts again. You understand? That doesn't make sense at 34 years of age. Now, he and Shakur Stevenson could possibly fight for 2 of the belts, right? Like Canelo Alvarez did when he fought against Callum Smith. They fought for the vacant WBC title as well as Callum Smith's WBA title, right? But in this case, Shakur can move up and make himself the mandatory for the WBO title, and they can fight for that belt. But Devin Haney, if he bounces up to 140, the belts are going to go everywhere. So that means at 34, Lomachenko will have to, in under a calendar year, accomplish what Canelo accomplished in 2021 in securing all the belts in under a calendar year. He would need to have 3 fights in that year to collect all the belts. Now that don't make sense. If his number one goal and agenda and objective was to become undisputed at lightweight, he stated he wanted to be undisputed in the glamour division. There's 4 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing: lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, and welterweight. Okay, so those are the 4 glamour divisions, right? Now the other divisions are very popular, but those 4 divisions, right? Lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. We know as the heavyweight division goes, so goes the sport of boxing. It carries the sport of boxing. Floyd Mayweather made the welterweight, and Sugar Ray Leonard and the 4 kings, Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran, Hearns, Hagler, Wilfred Benitez, they made the welterweight and middleweight divisions glamour divisions as well. And we know the late, great, legendary, iconic Hall of Fame superstar and widely considered the greatest, Sugar Ray Robinson, made those divisions, glamorous, right? But those are the glamour divisions. So Vasily Lomachenko said he wanted to create history, and he wanted to be undisputed at the lightweight division. Now, he's missed that boat. He wanted to be the first undisputed 4 major sanctioned belt holder in the history of the sport of boxing. Well, Devin Haney beat him to that. Well, now he can be the second, but he can do it in 1 fight. If he fights Devin Haney and beats Devin Haney in 1 fight, he accomplished what he wants to accomplish, what he set out to accomplish. But if he waits and fights somebody else in October, and Devin Haney, he's not his opponent, so Devin Haney fights George Kambosos in October. Devin Haney beats Kambosos. Lomachenko beats whomever he fights. If they don't fight early in 2023, Devin Haney's going to be moving up out the division. And again, like I said, the belts are going to go everywhere. Shakur Stevenson is a big fight for Lomachenko, but it won't make sense for what he's looking to accomplish, because he's looking to accomplish collecting all the belts. And if he waits, then that means he has to go on a scavenger hunt, like I said, to collect all the belts once Devin Haney vacates the belts. So he's going to have to fight this guy, that guy, and this guy. And there's no guarantee that he could fight Shakur Stevenson for 2 belts. He might only be able to fight Shakur Stevenson for the WBO title. Shakur Stevenson can make himself the mandatory for the WBO title. And he has a relationship now that he won the WBC title to make himself, put himself in position for the WBC title. But are they going, are the WBC and the WBO going to put those 2 belts on the line for 1 fight? I'm hard pressed to see it. So that don't make sense for a 34-year-old Lomachenko to wait. It would make sense for him to fight Devin Haney next and attempt to accomplish what he's looking to accomplish. Right? That would make more sense than him waiting around to collect all the belts once Devin Haney vacates. Because your path to those belts, going through Shakur Stevenson or going through Devin Haney, don't get no easier. It's the same rope. It's the same uphill challenge for Lomachenko. You got to go through Shakur Stevenson or go through Devin Haney. right? It's pick your poison. Which one? There's no path of least resistance. So it doesn't even make sense to wait for Shakur Stevenson, because I think Shakur Stevenson beats him, and I personally think Devin Haney beats him. Now, at 50-50 fights, he's a great fighter, and he could very well definitely win those fights. But this is the path of least resistance. There is no path of least resistance. You got to go through Shakur or Devin. You might as well just attempt it in one fight. And try your luck with just Devin Haney in one fight. That would just make more sense to me. And if you beat Devin Haney, then, because remember, Lomachenko stated that he has no interest going up to 140. So if he beat Devin Haney, then you defend the titles against Shakur Stevenson. You see, it just doesn't make sense that he will wait for Shakur Stevenson, because there's no easier route. It's not like he's saying, oh, I'll wait for Shakur Stevenson to come up. My chances is better to beat him. No, it's the same. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. I feel like Bob Arum is looking at it as an in-house, homegrown situation. Shakur Stevenson has always been signed to top rank. Lomachenko has always been signed to top rank. And it's a homegrown, in-house fight, opposed to Devin Haney, who's recently just signed and has his own promotional company, DHP, Devin Haney Promotion, with father, trainer, manager, and CEO of DHP, Bill Haney. Right? I think it's a situation where they could always exit top rank soon. Now, they like their situation, but they recently just signed. So the Devin Haney, the Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko is more in-house, homegrown. I think that's the way Bob Arum possibly looking at it. But let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like your shitty videos. That's all I got for you. Peace.